Hello. You can't see anything right now, and I'll get to that in a second. But do y'all remember I don't know how to center the eyes, my video on opinions of the dorm uniforms? That one still gets views every now and then, which is a crazy concept to me. But I figured I didn't do the teachers and I didn't do the side characters. So that's what we're gonna do this time. Just a heads up. Why is my model moving like this? Anyway, just a heads up that I may have forgotten a few characters. If I did, let me know, and I can make another video with those characters, or new ones as we go along. Also, some of these characters have not appeared on EN yet, at least at the time this is recorded. They might have appeared by the time this is released. But anyway, let's start with the teachers. I'm blocking Crowley. This won't happen again. Okay, Crowley. Oh good, you guys can see my cursor. This is great. Crowley, he's small because I don't like him. His design itself is pretty cool. I'm a sucker for blue, and blue-purple is a very nice color for sure. I hate drawing this, and I always skip this mirror thing, and his cane. The anime I say did him pretty good, but I just avoid drawing him in general because this is a lot. I like the intricacies of the vest too. I thought that was cool, but again, I wouldn't draw that on my life. The feather thing is pretty cool. Definitely emphasis like the crow part of his design for sure. I also am a sucker for jackets like these, the big flowy ones that like flow dramatically behind you as you walk. I'm a huge sucker for those, so he gets bonus points for that. So like visually, pretty good. Drawing it though, hell no. I will simplify it every time. Cruel is up next, my favorite teacher out of all the teachers. Drawing the fur jacket only sucks because I'm not good at drawing fur. Otherwise, it's pretty simple, easy pattern. His design is one of the more simple ones to draw, which I love, thank God. I don't know why, but I actually do like his haircut. I don't know why, but I do. And yeah. I like the red on the inside of the jacket here, because it just, I don't know, it's his accent color. And sometimes, like, the placements of that accent color can be, like, wonky. But I think they did it good here, except for down here. Why do his pants not go all the way down? I feel like they should. I mean, his shoes are fine. His shoes are pretty good. Why do his pants not go all the way down? I feel like, considering he's a really big fashion guy, there's no way he would be the type to let his socks show. You know? Like, maybe a little bit, but, like, I don't think his pants would be above his ankle bone, you know? Because this is about where it would be, his ankle bone. But, like, his pants, I feel like, should be lower. That's really the only thing. I don't know how to feel about the tails on the coat. I'm gonna be honest, this is my first time seeing them. I'm pretty sure. But the rest of the outfit gets good points. I love the outfit. I like drawing it. I'm completely okay drawing this outfit. Pretty good. Also, I'm sorry that these pictures are horribly arranged. It does not get better as we go. It gets better in the sense that it's less crowded. I only do 3 max per slide because I learned my lesson from this one. Anyway, Train is next. Bonus points for the cat. I'm sorry, that does get bonus points. His hair makes no sense to me. It's like the same issue with Vil. Like, the pulled back hair like that is something I struggle with. I do love the robes though. I never draw these details here though, I will say. I never draw those. I do like the robe. I always like the, again, aesthetic of the long flowy thing dramatically behind you. I also like how it continues to the front. You can tell he was a Pomme Fiore student because it's very similar to the way that the Pomme Fiore robes, or they might be kimonos, that they were designed. It also is crazy how the suit just blends in completely, and he doesn't have the sock thing that Cruel does. Why does Cruel have this sock thing? I think the suit itself, I can't see much, but I think it's pretty basic, minus this part up here. I'm gonna be honest, this tuft thing right above the cat's head, it's giving, like, you know those napkins that rich people stuff in their shirts before they eat? It's kind of giving that. Yeah, no, otherwise I like this outfit. Especially the red robe or kimono. I don't know which one it is, but it's pretty cool. I like it. Vargas, there isn't a lot to say. It's a pretty basic, you know, workout outfit, which fits his character perfectly, but we're not judging that. I'm gonna be honest, you could tell easily that he was based off Gaston. One look and you knew, right? I also like this deer. This symbol has been there before Camp Vargas, so you can tell that they were going to plan that. He had a bracelet? Wait, what is this? He's had that bracelet? It's an arrow. Was Gaston an archer? I don't remember. But the other thing is I don't like his hair. I'm not one for facial hair, but it actually does kind of work on him here. I'm talking about this top part. I don't like how this haircut. Again, same thing with the slick back for Train. I just struggle drawing it. It looks like there's a big bulb on their head and it's not never proportioned correctly, so it always looks weird. And I'm gonna be honest, he is the only character model in game where his muscles are actually drawn properly. Everyone else's muscles are not represented properly on their in-game character model, so Vargas does get a win there as well. But yeah, pretty basic. There are not too many standout details besides the Camp Vargas logo, this bracelet, I guess. It's kind of really it. It's pretty basic. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying it's basic. Sam! They did you dirty by removing your markings. Also, proof that they existed and that they were removed for some reason. I'm still salty. I've always loved the brightly colored vest. It really draws your eyes to him. I think this red sash, it matches. I'm not saying it doesn't, but it's an interesting choice because it's this and then the sock over here. By the way, I don't like the sock thing, but it does fit Sam. If any character is gonna have it, it's him. I always like the stitch work on the hats. I swore there was some on the... Was there not some on this jacket either? I swore there was more stitch work somewhere. I've never seen a full design, so I've never noticed the apron. It does fit. It does check. And also this little bag right here. I don't want to say fanny pack. That doesn't feel quite accurate. But it's interesting how it's just tied in the front. Wait, is he wearing the vest over the apron? If that's the case, this is a weird outfit. That means he's not wearing a shirt underneath. Well, I guess he's wearing the shirt on top of the apron, which is a choice, but it works. Or this is like some sort of skirt, but why would you tri-layer pants, skirt, and a vest? I do know why the light gloves. Y'all explained it to me in the Octavian one, but again, actually no, you know what? The white gloves do fit here. There's enough white on his outfit where it matches up. I'm gonna retract that statement. The white gloves work. I don't understand this little hole opening though. Why that? But overall, yeah, I vibe with his outfit. The most difficult part for his whole design for me is his hair, and that's just because I don't practice that style of hair enough. Teachers overall are pretty good. Crowley's design is too complicated, don't like it. Vargas's is somewhat too simple, but hey, that makes it easy to draw, so who cares? Parents, part 1. There's 3 parts to this. As you can see again, horribly placed photos. But we move on. First of all, starting with Deuce's mom, I believe her name is Scylla. I could be mistaken. I really like it, personally. It's on the simpler side, but there's like some little details that might trip you up. Like this patch, that's her company logo that she works at. She doesn't own it. She's a middle-class mom, like most of our parents, probably. I also just noticed the hearts on her belt. That's pretty cute. I've always thought it was interesting that her hair was a mix of her natural color and potentially a dyed blonde. So I think that shows that she was probably trying to support Deuce in his little, you know, his little delinquent phase, which he grew out of because, you know, that's his backstory. I feel like she has a good haircut. I like her eye color. I like a lot of this. I'm also really biased because I like her as a character in general. I thought she was fantastic. I loved her personality. And I hope we get more of her in, like, the main story. Georgina, this woman screams money. Look at this dress. Oh, this looks awful to draw, just this pattern. Now, make no mistake, she's very beautiful. I don't know how to feel about the gloves eating her sleeve. I have mixed emotions right now on that, but the whole dress itself is very beautiful and lovely. There's a bracelet on her gloves. I have a thing with bracelets on gloves. I'm not a huge fan. That just feels like you can't pick a a hand accessory. That's just me though. I'm no fashion major, so you can take my words with a grain of salt. The pearls are very fitting for the sea. I wonder what this top is. I don't have the best picture, but I wonder what it is. I love her hair. The classic anime mom hair over the shoulder, but just like with slightly different because you can tell it's thinner hair, which I think it's cool that you can tell the thickness of a character's hair by the way they draw it. I think that's pretty cool. I love how it goes over her eye. I love her whole makeup. They did her face really well. I love the hat, actually. I'm a huge fan of this. I don't know what about it. Maybe it's the curve and the fact that it follows her hair curve, so it just the two kind of move your eye in the same direction. I just like it a lot. I think my only two quote-unquote gripes with her design are this very complicated pattern on her skirt and gloves over the sleeve, and I guess it's three things because of the bracelet on the gloves. But again, I'm no fashion major. Melanor, she had the tail? I didn't even notice that. Shit, when I drew her on stream I didn't give her a tail. Fuck. As someone who attempted to draw her and skimmed out many details, holy crap, there is a lot here. Just looking at it again, first of all, I'm pretty sure I forgot this purple part when I drew her. Her scepter is something I love. I've loved this headpiece. Sucks to draw, but I love it. It's interesting how her hair is symmetrical. I don't know what else to say about it. I kind of, with the curve of the line, I kind of expected it to be visible over here. Maybe it's shorter hair than I thought, because I always thought it was long flowing hair. Oh, interesting. Her tail is the same shape as Grimm's end. I like the cape of the dress. Look at that. Dramatic flowy walking behind you, instant points. Same with this purple piece. And then there's like this little star thing on the inside of the cape thing. That's cool. This front piece is giving like, you know how some people draw battle goddesses? Kind of like that. So that's pretty cool. I will say, actually no, these boots are also pretty cool. But the only thing I would say about her design, it is very busy. And she's, she's the Fae princess. She's like the girl, you know? So it makes sense that it's busy. Holy crap, is it busy? It's look at everything on this chest alone. And now I'll go to the fact that I love how it's a mix of not only a princess, but also a knight. You know, it's both. Like, yep, she's royalty and she can kick your ass. Win-win. All in all of these ladies, well designed, love them all, and very little to no complaints. Anya's parents, there's not a lot to say. Also, I'm sorry her picture came out so low poly, forgive me. But I really loved her helmet more than his. And yes, these two are kind of going together because they were given the standard uniform that all the other Six staff wear, and their son got something way, way better. Is that because he's taking over? Maybe. Eric Venue, I've never liked his name. Venue? Why is your last name Venue? I just never liked it personally. But overall, it's a very nice suit. Beige purple, good choice, represents his blonde and, you know, the thematic color of purple. I love black gloves. He doesn't do the sock thing, and they aren't weirdly high. I just noticed on theirs also are kind of high. But like with those boots, it makes sense, you know, unlike a certain teacher. I think this belt is an interesting choice. It's not one you normally see with this kind of suit, but it does fit pretty well. The color matches I don't know what to call these parts of the jacket, but it's very cool. I like it. I will say this accent of red, normally when a color this contrasting shows up, I don't like it, but it works here. It's like the same, for lack of better words, because I don't know my terminology all that well, saturation. It looks very good. His hairstyle, now I know I praised Georgina for it, but I just feel like it's too similar to Vil's. Like, it's different, for sure, but like, it just feels like they drew Vil if he was older, you know? Like, if they time skip to Vil in the future, they're just gonna use Eric's model instead of like an aged up Vil. So I just wish the hair was like a little different. And I know in anime there's not a lot of like unique boy cuts that still scream classy, but I feel like there was a different one that they could have used. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying he looks too much like Vil. Yes, I know they are biologically related, but that doesn't mean you look like a copy-paste twin of your parent. I look nothing like my parents. I look like a combination of the two, but I'm very distinct. But yeah, otherwise, I like his outfit overall. It's pretty cool. I kind of wish this was red instead. I get why it's white, but like, you know, double the accent color. It just fits, you know? This is like the only white thing on the outfit. Everything else is purple, a dark purple or black, whatever these are, or beige or red. So like, the white just feels out of place, you know? But otherwise, again, chill outfit. These guys are kind of basic minus their helmets. I bet they just didn't want to make a new model, so they just slapped a helmet on a basic guy and a basic girl sticks worker. I bet is what they did. We have the Dawn Knight and Bar. Now, I had to put parenthesis family, because Bar is Sebek's grandparent. Now let's go to the Dawn Knight. I'm never drawing you. Look at all of this. I suck at medals to begin with. What the hell? It's a double-layered cape. I like the cape. Pretty cool. But yeah, that is a lot of detail. I will say it's interesting how this part is more of a darker color compared to the rest of the outfit. I'm not saying it's a bad call. I promise you it's a good one. I'm just saying it's interesting. I kind of wish this belt had either been this dark color or the gold instead of the brown. Also, a lot of this capes, I hate to say it, feels impractical. First of all, you're already in heavy metal armor. You're moving slow as is. But then you got these capes, which someone can just grab. Also these puffer sleeves. I'm not against them. Drawing them is hella fun. But, well, I guess it's breathable, so there's that. Maybe he's secretly buff under there, and then these are surrounding his whole arm. And then he just has really skinny forearms. Which doesn't feel likely, but, you know. There's just so much here. I don't really know where to start with the Dawn Knight. I just can't believe Silver is naturally blonde because of this guy. Oh my gosh. I will say it's funny how they have the exact same fucking face. My issue with Eric's haircut, but taken to a whole new extreme with the Dawn Knight's face. Why are they actually copy-pasted? That's not even a joke. I'm convinced they copy-pasted Silver's face onto this guy and turned it blonde. And all they did was just change Silver's hair color to blonde and then just make the hair longer. They didn't change much in terms of his face and hair. I bet their bangs are drawn the exact same way. Just turned blonde. I feel like that's lazy. So similar with Melanor, it's really busy. There's a lot here. And, you know, the face. But otherwise, it's a pretty good design, I think. Bar, despite being a knight, it's actually not that busy. But what is this cape? What is this interior? I get it's protection material, but I feel like you're stabbing your own legs. Especially since this part of his legs, what is that, his thigh? His thigh is not protected at all from the stabbies on his armor. I do like the rest of the outfit. Is it a little hard to draw? Yes, but it's not as much as like the Dawn Knights. You know, it's doable for sure. Even if you have to like simplify some of like the intricate patterns here, it's still very doable. I love his hair. I don't know why, but I do. I like the messiness. I don't know what this thing is with the front, but I am okay with it. But yeah, you can tell, like, even this material looks durable and protective. Unlike this, which just looks like regular cloth. This looks like leather. Very knighty, obviously. He's a... Ooh, wait! Why... His feet have, like, claws. Like a... I know what it's supposed to be, but it looks like a velociraptor's claws. I think of Jurassic World when I see these. Also, being able to slice somebody with the back of your foot is pretty freaking sick. I also really like the fact that the emblem is on their shoulder pads. That's pretty cool. Would I draw it? I'll try. Wouldn't be able to recreate it. Also, the hoods are pretty sick. I do like the scales that show up on the side of his head too. I think they do show up on both sides and on his chin. And I wonder, is Sebek capable of getting these scales? I think it's pretty cool. In my opinion, one of the better ways to draw a family member without making them like identical to them in some way. Their hairstyles are similar, sure. Their eyes are also pretty similar. But they're different enough where it still feels like I'm looking at a different character and not someone that was copy-pasted. So yeah, out of these two, I do like Bar's design better. And for those of you who are wondering why I'm not going to be including Lilia on this segment because we technically already judged Lilia's dorm outfit. Others, part 1. This was everyone I could try and pull from memory that wasn't parents. And I guess I should have put her on the previous slide, but that's fine. I love her design. I think it's perfect. I would not change a damn thing. I think it is the perfect mix of respecting traditions and yet still containing the way a teenager would dress up, you know? I also love her hair. I love the hair accessory. I love everything about this outfit. All of the jewelry, even the shoes, ooh, is this a shawl? I don't know clothing items. I'm very sorry. But I just love this whole design in general. I love this accent of blue because there's still blue on the outfit, so it still kind of works. I like the flower because that was very prominent. I don't know the right word. Present, I guess, in the event. Again, her outfit's a 10 out of 10. I love it. I love her design, and I hope we get more of her. I did make him a little freakishly big, but this is Gino/Goodell. I've always loved his design. I think the patchwork gives very much that, yeah, they are 100% broken, just doing what they can. I just like the whimsy of the colors and stuff in general. I love the hammer. Hammer was pretty good. I also like I think it's interesting how he can hold that hammer with his hands in there. You think it just like slide down. or something, so that's pretty cool. I think the hat being baby blue is interested. I feel like it should have been like the pink or something, but there's a couple of other cases where there's a random color showing up, like this green here too. Well, I guess that means that they match in a sense, but it's patchwork, so it's not going to be pretty. I always thought it was interesting how he kind of has droopy eyes. Like, is he tired? I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just curious. Because it felt like he was so full of energy. I like his hair color. I really like his hair color. I love the way they did his hair. It's very messy and yet also like extremely symmetrical. So like it's somewhat taken care of with the best of their abilities, you know? I also like how it's funny how his mouth is this. He's the only like, okay, Ernesto kind of too. But he's the only character with like this full-on mouth. Like you can just tell what it's meant to be. But yeah, overall, I like his design. It's pretty cool. A little busy, but you know, it's patchwork. These kinds of designs are always going to be busy, and that's fine. Ernesto, I love the jacket. Look at that sleeve. Oh, that's a cape. Sorry, the sleeve's here. I'm a sucker for that even more, though. Rich man, but you know he's a con man from everything else. But again, the flowing jacket, the flowing cape, hell yeah, I'm a sucker for that. I love the hat. I think it goes very well. I will say, like, all these puffer things, you know, these kind of, what are they, ties? They always feel like that rich people napkin that people use when they're eating, the rich people. So like, yeah, there's that. I will say it's interesting how there's just a bunch of danglies. I don't know a better word for it. I use that term a lot, but yeah. Danglies attached to elements of the story is pretty cool. His patchwork actually seems somewhat uniform and less chaotic than Goodell's, so that's pretty neat. And yeah, also, I think this patch is very similar to the one on Goodell's leg, so it's interesting how they share patterns too. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know what the hell is going on with this bottom half though. What is this? Is this supposed to be a sock over the shoe? What's going on here? Is this just part of the shoe? I think this is a boot. I'm not sure I'm a fan of your boots, Ernesto. I'm gonna be completely honest here. Ironically, this is one of the two designs where I think the white gloves fit. I'm just surprised they're so long. I guess I'm just not a fan of long gloves because they're hard to take on and off. Like, not super hard, but uncomfy. Yeah, and I like how his pinkies, just the one, shows that, you know, because, like, it shows, like, these subtle things, like, with the patchwork, they're very well placed, and, like, the pinky and stuff, show that either these clothes aren't fully theirs, especially with the oversize on, Gino/Goodell's sleeves. It shows that it's either not theirs, or they've had to use them for a very long time, or in Gino's case, he had to grow up with that jacket, because it's gonna fit him eventually. It'll fit him properly eventually. Ernesto's hair... mixed feelings. How does this hair spring up like this under a hat? How much gel is in his hair? Also, what is the point of loosely wearing a hat this way? This is just me. Remember, these are all my opinions. You don't have to agree. But yeah. Overall, his outfit's pretty chill. I do like it. Now to an even cooler page of people. The only thing... we'll start with Rollo. The only thing I don't like about this motherfucker is his haircut. Why is it so high on his forehead? I will say they did do hat hair correctly with having the strands stick out every now and then. But again, I'm a sucker for things flowing dramatically behind you. Do I know where half of this shit goes and starts from? Absolutely not. But I will figure it out eventually. I think this cane thing is pretty cool. It has its own danglies, which is an instant win, and I think those are the fire lotuses on them. So that was nice. That was like really subtle foreshadowing, but it's also part of their history, so it makes sense. The bell being on there is cool. I'm also pretty sure this is a functioning bell, so that's even cooler. Also, since the school was very religious themed, because you know, Frollo, who this guy is based off, and ironically his name is literally the same name with the F removed. He was like a priest or something, right? So the very religious themes of his outfit also fit extremely well. It's very interesting how they didn't really make him from my memory, again, it's been a while since I've read this event, they didn't really mention religion with him. They centered him around the theme of magic rather than religion. So that's pretty interesting. Does this bell also move? I will say, I don't know how to feel about these tassels. They kind of just make this part look like a curtain. There are some places where tassels like these work. I feel like this isn't it. But also something definitely did need to be there, because I feel like just removing these tassels would not help the outfit either. So I don't know, like this is a good place for tassels. Yeah, overall pretty good. I'm not a fan of these pants and socks though. They're doing the pants and socks thing again with you, Rollo. Yeah, again, I think my biggest things are his hair and this fuck ass pants and socks thing. Scully's outfit outfit is instantly a 10 out of 10. I have not given the others numerical value, but this is 10 out of 10. He does do the saw thing, yes, but also like it fits him in his personality, you know? I will say I like the skeleton markings on his hand. It's also accurate, you know? I also love the fact that there were ribbons that suggested the ribcage. Again, dramatic flowing coat things behind him. I'm a sucker for those. He does have the rich people napkin thing, but I don't know why on this particular outfit, it kind of just works for me. I'm like completely okay with it on this outfit. I think the shades were an interesting touch. It hides his eyes, sort of how like he hides his own emotions, even though he is unironically the most expressive character model this game has ever seen. His hair is a little tricky for me, but it's also not the worst. I like the gradient of the black, you know, suggesting like the 3D shape A Nightmare Before Christmas's movie gave, so that's pretty cool. This crown thing, I'm gonna be honest, it did remind me of Wuthering Waves when I first saw it, but I still like it. Do I fully know what's its intention with this design? No, I would guess to break up the monotone white in his hair, because that is a lot of white and you do sometimes need this to break it up. I would say the only difficult part about these, kind of the whole group's designs with these outfits in general, was all of the different patterns. I committed though, I did them. Overall, Scully's is like, so far out of everyone, I think Scully is up there for top design for sure. And I do have one more. I don't know his name. Sorry, I don't. He released like maybe a week ago, and the event on JP is not out yet, so I have not learned his name yet. I also could not find a full body picture. Sorry again. So with that in mind, do give me some grace. I will say this is interesting. It's the first Halloween event character where it's actually an adult. If they pull a Gallagher, I feel like he does give Gallagher vibes. I feel like his role in the event story is going to be very Gallagher from HSR-like, so I like how scuffed the outfit is. I am interested to see what this coin is about. I don't remember, because Oogie Boogie was more dice, right? So I'm very interested to see what this coin is about. Interesting how kind of instead of a tie, they used a belt for a dress shirt that is trash and stitched together, so we're gonna get a lot more stitched outfits. There are a lot of stitches on this outfit. Oh my god. Needless to say, I'm not drawing this outfit. I think it's interesting how this is the first character with an inhuman skin color. All of the others have been like melanated or like brighter skin tones, but this guy is just straight up gray. We're not talking about like that ashy melanation that people hate, which is valid. This is just straight up gray. Also, the pointy ears. Is he Fae? That's pretty cool. I will say, I like how the hair is tied upwards. Kind of like how the hood would be. I also think it's cool that he has the hood, which suggests that in place of like the shades Scully had, his alternate form is going to be with the hood on, with the thing going behind him, so that's pretty cool. I also like how they made his hair long. There's not a lot of long-haired male characters in this game, so this is pretty cool. I'm gonna be honest, I'd probably wear this jacket. I think it's pretty sick. I like the mix Oogie Boogie and the stitches, but I also just like how it's like a modern street jacket look. It looks really comfy, dude. I kind of want one now. I would like to apologize because I forgot two very important people in editing. These lovely individuals. Also, I shot my voice again. Let me get into the last two characters, and if I remember anyone else, I'm not adding them in, but I love this design. I forgot how pretty she was. For someone who was so ditzy in her stories in the Fairy Gala events, I can't help but admire it. I love the flower buns. I love the dress. Dude, ooh, cape win. This back thing counts as a cape, by the way. I hope you all know that. There is nothing wrong with this design, in my opinion. The crown, the contrast is a little jarring, but I think that was the point, because it draws attention to her head. This design of the beautiful fairy queen is a 10 out of 10. We're moving on to Eliza. This bitch, what a queen. I love her. I love her as a character. I didn't know she was missing so much of the bottom half. I didn't know she had these little ghost guys. I don't remember them being there. Also, the beginning of the ribcage ribbon design that Scully has. She had it first, queen. Also, I'm a sucker for blue, so instant win there. I love this too. Not as much as Fairy Queen, but I still love this a lot. I also love how her unique magic is she slaps people and they can't move. That is an awesome power. I want it. So yeah, that is all of the character designs characters I found for side characters. If I missed one, I'm sorry. Please let me know who I missed. That would be greatly appreciated. And I'm not talking about characters that were mentioned, like Ace's brother. Riddle's mom doesn't have a full view yet. We might get one in the anime. That would be pretty sick. But if I miss someone with a character model in-game, please let me know. I'll make a part 3. It might be smaller than this one, but I think I hit everybody. I think overall my favorite out of this group is Scully. Easily. My least favorite, though, is a little harder. It was definitely one of the characters with the fuck-ass sock and short pants thing. I want to say Crowley, but that feels unfair because when I saw his outfit for the first time, I thought it was very majestic and cool. Gonna be honest, I think it's Idia's parents. I think, like, Borges was basic, yes, but basic with purpose. Idia's parents are just basic because I think the devs got lazy. So yeah, like, the only thing I really like about the Idia's parents designs is like the helmets, and that's like the only unique part about those outfits. This is the first video that will be edited and uploaded over my winter break, so hopefully I can pump out a few more, but then it's gonna go back to streams, and I'll let you know in the last video when that happens. Hopefully I remember to do that anyway. You'll definitely know for sure because uploads will just suddenly stop. Anyway, that's it. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.